Good evening, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hope you guys all had a wonderful Christmas.
It was a really good one for me. How about you guys?
It was a good one for me, too.
It certainly was for me. I don't know if you guys saw that picture that I posted on Christmas Day, where I was able to get my first ever picture with my new niece and also give her first ever Christmas present. So had a good time. So
I saw that. It was great.
She's adorable. So it was quite an honor. So I just want to say
this out.
Just want to give some shout outs. Hello, Anton. Good to see ya. What's up, Carl? Hey, Joe. We got a Facebook user here, but I'm not sure who that could be.
I'll check.
Yeah, see, thank you, whoever this is.
My friend Ann Knighton is supposed to be coming in sometime tonight. She may be with us. I'm not sure.
That is Robin Swanson.
Oh, Robin.
Ask Madam.
Oh, good to see you, Robin. Thank you very much. Oh, Tom, Happy New Year. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, she just said it's Madame. That's right. What's going on? What's going on, Sean? Well, as far as what we're talking about tonight, we have Denny back on the show, so it's good to see you again, first of all, Denny.
Hey, good to be here again. Nice to see everybody out of makeup.
That's right. Yeah, I was going to say last time was Halloween, and we all had our costumes on and everything.
It was rather interesting.
I ended up early that show too, and hopefully I can stay all show tonight, but that's kind of questionable. I may have to leave early, so I don't know.
Again?
Adrian has colored her hair.
I did not. I did not.
Dear.
No, my son's girlfriend colored mom's hair this color, all of it.
Uh-huh.
And she comes upstairs while I'm working. She goes, "Do you want the other part of this?" I said, "Yeah, just on the ends."
Yeah.
She goes, "Just on the ends." I said, "I don't care. Do whatever you want."
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, you can do it on your sides.
Oh, no, I can't.
Well, I'll do it.
I would look like Gizu the clown if I did that.
That's okay.
Well, then at that point, all you need is a big red nose.
I got one. Every year at the drugstore, they give them for $1 for charity, and I got one.
Jeremy, I was going to say, by the way, because like you said, that tonight's questionable. I was about to say, you're going to be doing this every single time that Denny's on. Going to leave early. What the hell?
Well, actually, so I'll explain what's going on. It's one of Angelia's prescriptions.
Oh,
and we've been going back and forth all day with one pharmacy and another pharmacy because one doesn't have it in stock, the other one does. The other one's saying, well, we can't fill this because it's a controlled substance, so you need to have the other pharmacist send us the script or have the doctor write a new script. We called the doctor to send the new script, sent the new script to the original pharmacy. It's just been going all day long. It's been rather frustrating, to be honest. And I've been waiting on my dad because he's the one that gets the phone call notifications to let him know when it'll be in. And when it does come in, he's going to call me and I need to go and go get it. Luckily, this pharmacy is open 24 hours.
Oh.
Joe makes a good point. It is medical quack week, so a lot of prescriptions are coming in for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, but at least for Joe, he got good news instead of
that gave me a sigh of relief when I saw
he got great news.
Who's the Facebook user?
That is Madame Robin.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Now, what the hell is this? Nick's Bizzard. What?
Your mask.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what are you talking about, Tom?
Robin, I'm going to give you a link Just click on it so that we can be able to see you.
Did Ann find the show?
I don't know. I haven't seen her name come up.
Yeah, I've
Anthony,
been keeping.
you want to call Ann and see if she found the show?
Yeah, let's see.
She should have found it. She was getting ready about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, because kind of my role, if you will, is I usually keep an eye on the comments and share them. But so far, I haven't seen her in the chat.
Yeah, I haven't seen her name come up. Of course, on this little phone I'm working on right now.
Wait a minute.
Everything
Ann's
is
here.
phone.
Okay, I just
There
texted
she
her.
is.
Ann's here? Yay.
Yep. She's
Yay.
a famous Facebook user, but she's here though.
Yes. Yay. I'm glad. Ann's pretty new at this paranormal stuff, and she's had some interesting experiences. And so she's really into what we're doing here right now. And she's going to be really, really good at this. So I'm glad that she's here.
If we can, Jeremy, can you send her the link too? So we can see when it's her that comes up instead of Facebook user.
I was actually about to say the same thing.
I gave her the Universal page thinking it would come through.
Well, actually, as any group page, you'll show up as Facebook user. Hey, Ann, if you look, you'll see that link that I put in earlier. That's StreamYard Facebook. Click on that, and your name will show up. But if she wants to hop on,
wait a minute. Here she is.
Okay, there she is.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, both her and Robin are showing up now.
If she wanted to hop on camera and join us,
I think that's a great idea if we could get her to.
Yeah,
she's kind of camera shy.
Yeah. Want to come on in?
I don't know why she's camera shy. She's beautiful.
Yeah, come on, Ann, get on here. You can do it, kiddo. Yeah.
Don't be shy. We won't bite.
That's right. I ain't got no teeth left.
Nick. Do not make promises you can't keep.
Do not make promises for me, especially.
Well, I was gonna. You know what? Maybe I should put it this way. Jeremy and I won't bite, but I'm not sure about Adrian.
I will bite. I have no problem biting.
Yeah, we all do
that.
No problem at all.
Absolutely.
Oh, Joe gave a compliment for your hair, Adrian.
Thank you, Joe.
Really quick, there was a notification for Instagram. They are trying to work on doing this whole 1 hour cutoff thing. They're trying to do away with that so that anybody that goes longer than an hour doesn't have to worry about being cut off. So we're maybe next week that will change. They just put the notification in for that 2 days ago. So hopefully that will be rectified next time we come back on next week.
That'd be cool.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, that would be great.
So did you guys get the skinny on what we're talking about tonight?
Just a second. I haven't mentioned it yet.
Okay.
I figured I'd let you introduce it. It could be interesting or it could be horribly boring. I don't know.
It's we know our audience pretty well, and I think they will join in on this pretty well because I think we've all gotten this question. And anytime that I get somebody with any knowledge, I want that question answered. So we're going to discuss why, most of us get, Nick, I know you do. How do you believe in the paranormal and you call yourself a Christian? So people go to heaven, right? They're gone. They're done.
Today I have been seeing an uptick in posts about Christianity and this, that, and the other. One in particular was very intriguing. Everything happens because of the will of God.
Oh, I saw that.
Yes.
I saw that.
Everything good and wonderful happens. Well, that's because of God. Well, this guy, I'm not going to name him, although everything is public, but I'm still not going to name him. He brings in the question, okay, what about cancer and people suffering and famine and all that.
Or,
That's the will of God too. And somebody actually commented on that and said, that's free will.
right.
Cancer's not free will.
Nope.
No, it's not.
Nope. But
So it's like everybody wants to focus on the good thing, which is good, but you can't just ignore anything bad that happened because, truth be told, it's a big world out there and a lot of shit happens.
Yeah, especially with right now. So there's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, didn't you just
here's
have
why-
like a mass shooting the other day?
There was, and then, I mean, if you think about it worldwide, we all know about this, and let's face it, think about these wars that are going on right now. So there's just so much tragedy, you know, like bad things. I mean, it's good that you want to focus on good things, but there's so much bad stuff going on that you kind of have to give some thought into it. Maybe not forcefully, but in a way. You know what I mean?
Isn't that in the Bible too? That's going to happen?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it is. It is.
Wars, rumors of wars, the love of many will just wax cold.
Mhm.
And you're seeing it right now.
Yep.
You're
There's a
seeing it. And
popular-
yes, free will does enter into it. And it doesn't, you can't explain it away. As far as the body goes, this body, the body that we have, I'm not talking about the spirit that is us, but the body we have, it is comprised of the elements of the earth, and therefore it is subject to any malady that comes along and can affect the flesh. Just like the plants are subject to their diseases, okay, we are subject in the flesh to whatever diseases may come along. Now, if that happens, we can use it to God's advantage, if you want to go there, by showing that we can have faith and we can not curse him, but continue to love him, but understanding that what has come upon us, it's part of what happens in the earth. I've just been diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis. Well, okay, it's a natural thing. It happens. It happened. I've got it. I'm going to get some meds to help take care of it. But I'm not cursing God and I'm not blaming him. It's just, in my case, it was the natural course of events.
Mhm.
And that's the only way that I can look at it. The body is made up of the elements of the earth. It's subject to anything that can go wrong with it on the face of this earth. And therefore, whereas I don't like the fact I've got it, and now I'm going to do everything I can to make it more livable,
Right.
so that I can continue doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm one of those. There's lots of different religions and spiritualities, and I have nothing against any of them. I'm a little bit of all of them. But when we find somebody that has some knowledge on any of them, it's not we're not trying to make anybody Wiccan or Christian or anything else.
No.
But it is good to discuss it. I'm standing by what I said. I'm going to live forever. If I walk into a church, you will believe in spontaneous combustion. I almost believe that.
Joe, I can't tell you how many times he's told me that kind of stuff.
I almost believe that out of him.
He's told you that too, Jeremy. We bury people, Rob's
I've been informed of that myself. If you walk in here, you're going to burst into flames. Well, at least I'll go out warm, I suppose.
I like Robin's Robin's message there, because I think I know what she's doing with that.
Got a
We're
Twitch
supposed to
viewer.
return to the earth. So, if Pikachu, we're in metal coffins that take so long, if ever, to disintegrate.
Right.
We're supposed to be returned to the earth.
Yeah. Ashes
Or our
to
bodies
ashes,
are.
dust to dust.
Mhm.
You know, I actually heard this, and this sounds unrelated, but it still kind of revolves around this fact, like, you know, to what our bodies really are. There was one of my videos I got on, again, it's unrelated, but it's about like one of my tornado videos. There was a question who asked, like, during this documentary, saying whoever we are when it comes to like weather or whatever, in this case, like the elements, are we just nothing but just dust being blown around just in the endless seams of the cosmos? That's one question
our
asked.
ancestors.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Garrett actually was one of the ESP crew that came and stayed the night and investigated our house.
Is that right?
He's awesome.
That's great.
Was he at the Abbey?
No, he came with the girls after.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so that was after our investigation there.
Yeah, you need to come back here, Garrett.
It's good to see him on.
He was
Correct
awesome.
me if I'm wrong, but weren't there cultures way back in the day that when somebody would die, they would cremate them? Like,
yeah, there are, and in India it's still practiced. They cremate them and they let them torches, and then they put them in the river and they let them float down the river.
And still, though, that's still giving them back to the earth.
Of course it is.
Well,
It's
even
ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I'm going to be cremated. I mean, it's as simple as that. You can take them and dump them out along a river if you like, but make sure it's a good fishing river.
That's what I said. Throw me anywhere. It doesn't matter at that point. I don't care.
It doesn't matter. Or they can take the ashes and they can blow them into glass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, even today, I mean, if you want to look really back into the history of cremation, people believing that you're returning them to the earth, and this still is practiced today too. If you look at some of the, I don't know how many necessarily how many Native American tribes do it here, but I know a lot of the Central and South American tribes are known to do that. In fact, the rituals are a little bit bizarre, but at the same time, though, they're still kind of returning these people that have been around for thousands of years, probably even a much older history than what we have here in the States, and are still practicing a lot of those traditions to this very day, thousands of years later.
Yeah, exactly. I was in the funeral industry for a while, and of course we had to, as best we could, go along with everybody's funeral rites, what they wanted to do, with the decedent. And one of them was, what we had to do was unlock a window in the mortuary and turn the lights out and let the person's family crawl through the window, take the body out, and drive off and bury it. So the demons couldn't tell where the body went.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we weren't going to just leave the window open, not watched. So I got to sit across the street and watch them do it, and it was kind of spooky, but yet it was kind of interesting because this was their right. This is what they did, and there are hundreds of various funerary rites that literally just astound people, and they've been practicing them for
something like that would even be legal.
Well, I don't know the legality of it, but this is what they wanted, so we weren't going to stand in their way. I didn't see any police security around the place, but they came and just took the body, and I suppose they took it out and buried it on their land somewhere. Just dig a hole and dust to dust.
Yep.
Right.
Robin, I like that. I'm actually about 93% Viking, so I kind of like that.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
if you guys remember Goose, he actually made a post earlier today talking about old Europe, of what used to be Scandinavian land, Viking land, and what used to be it's an old empire that doesn't exist anymore. It's not Roman Empire. It starts with a B, I think.
Oh, that's the
almost all of Europe. Then there was Francia that covered a good portion of Europe. No, it's not Babylonian. It's two words. I'll see if I can.
I'm actually looking it up right now. I know
Don't ask
exactly
me
what.
about things like that. I am the worst on history.
I think it might be the North Sea Empire.
No, it's Byzantine Empire.
Oh,
Bison. I think that. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
Visiting.
Yeah. So there's Byzantine Empire. There's Francia. An area called Rus. It's RUS with the double dots over the U, and this is showing the parts of Europe that was Scandinavian settlement in the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th century, and show the borderlines of where the Vikings would raid throughout their time. And this is where I found out that North America was actually referred to as Vinland back
Really?
Really, I didn't know about that.
Oh, that's
then. So it had a name long before it was ever discovered.
What do you mean you need a bigger cremation bag? Dude,
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
your little ashes will go down to something like this. You're fine.
yeah. You will definitely reduce in volume.
Well, and the other thing too, I wanted to bring up, Jeremy. I mean, first of all, I didn't actually know that. You know that it used to be called Vinland long before it had a name. But
I didn't either until this.
Well, and if you think about it too, and not only just when the Vikings existed, this was something that once existed for not just thousands, but even millions of years. North America at one point, and I'm not just saying like to the very beginning, was at one point part of basically connected to Asia, because right in between you had the Bering Land Bridge that once existed. And the Vikings probably used that to come to North American shores, which of course what is now modern day Alaska, but that's where they would have traveled from Asia to North America, the Bering Land Bridge.
Good thing they were tough, I guess, because
They were, well,
I don't want to be in Alaska.
well, also the only way of trying to get across from those two coastlines obviously would have been the land bridge or by boat. That was all.
I'd have had to take it. I get seasick in the bathtub.
Yeah. Leif Erikson made it over here.
So
Yeah.
so yes, yeah, and it's actually well known that he's the one who actually discovered North America. It says here that the Vinland sagas are two Icelandic texts written independently of each other in the early 13th century. So we're talking 1200s.
Yeah.
Almost 300 years before Christopher Columbus came over and discovered America, where Cuba, Puerto Rico.
No, he never made it to the mainland. He only made it to what is now the Bahamas.
The Bahamas. So that was the North America, where Vinland is actually Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the big thing. He always says, when somebody says something about who discovered America, he has a fit.
Well, I also know one other thing too is that there's also like another supposedly earlier explorer or group of explorers prior to Christopher Columbus's arrival, and there's actually a book that's written about it. It's even believed that Chinese explorers were really the first also like explorers, and they came supposedly in the year 1422. And long story short, it was the guy who wrote this book. He went to China on one of these visits, and he kept seeing the number 1422 all over the place. So he started figuring, well, that must represent a year. It must have been a very important year for the Chinese. So he asked some of the locals, he asked around, like, what does 1422 mean? And they supposedly said that some of their ancestors actually discovered new land of what was the United States, what is North America. Even though there still hasn't been a lot of evidence found, one thing probably tells me already that if they did indeed come to this land, they probably were certainly not as hostile as the European explorers. But another thing, too, if you think about it, that would also explain, too, why some Native American tribes had Asian ancestry, because of the possibility of these Chinese settlers that may have came in 1422.
Well, when you really think about it, North America was never really truly discovered because it had been colonized by the Native Americans, by Eskimos,
Eskimos, yeah.
and there was a time where North America was actually connected to Asia via that long line of islands there at the tip of
Alaska, yeah, it's the Bering Land Bridge.
Yeah. So there was actually a land bridge connecting the two continents, and just over time, a lot of that ended up underwater. So that's why they're no longer connected the way that they are. But at one time, every continent, with the exception of Australia and Antarctica, was connected in some way.
Antone just wrote it down too. Pangea.
That was millions of years.
Yeah, that was millions of years ago, though. That's a different. But no, you got the idea, though. They were at one point once connected to each other, except for, like you said, Australia and Antarctica.
Yeah, I actually watched a really cool graphic a few days ago where it showed everything together, and then they came apart. And when it got to how things are today, it continued on and show theoretically what the world is going to look like after, millions of years later after today.
Did you guys hear about that? Actually, there's a good primary example. I don't know if you guys have heard, but a lot of people are saying that the southeastern side of Africa, like where Ethiopia is and further down south, it's starting to show signs of splitting. And
a lot of places are.
It's already showing signs of that.
Yeah, I obviously will never see it in her lifetime, obviously, but there are signs of it. Basically, they're saying if this splits, it will become a new continent. It's not going to just be simply an island. And even though it's still millions of years in the process, they're already talking about what they're already coming up with names of what they want to call this particular new continent that could form. And in fact, although we'll never see it in our lifetime, I just uploaded this. Put it this way, this is what Africa will probably look like after this piece of land splits.
Yep.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice little island.
Yeah, basically this would be the new continent for whatever they plan on calling it. But other than that, really, though,
it's actually interesting when you look at the body of water that's right there at the center of that makes it look like eyes and a beak.
Oh my God! Yeah,
where the sand is at.
Oh my! I did not even see that. You're right.
That's the first thing I saw. As soon as I saw that lake, I'm like, "That's eyes. That is a duckbill."
It really is.
That's your new name. It's going to be called Duckland.
Duckland. I love it.
Geez.
That is awesome.
Okay, we are way off track of where we started. Way off track.
This is what we do. We go around.
You should know that.
Yeah, but I want the answer to this question as let's say, Denny, I walked up to you and said, okay, why are you paranormal and you believe in God? What answers would you have?
Well, the first answer is there are two answers to the question. One is a short one, and the answer is yes. But the caveat to that is, but don't spread it around the church.
Right.
The other answer is a longer answer that I can read you some scripture references to show you where in Old and New Testament the proof of ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to call them, is there, and that people have been doing the very same things we do for at least 2,000 years and probably closer to 4,000 or 5,000 years. That would be the long answer. And the caveat to that, again, is, but don't spread it around the church, because all you're going to do is give yourself a hard time They're going to call you names. They're going to call you crazy. They're going to call you a heretic. They're going to call you demon possessed. And they're probably going to give you the boot, none too gentle, out the front door. And so I call myself one because I know that scripturally they exist. So that's not a problem. And I also know, because I spent 30 years as a pastor, I also know not to go mouthing that around the church, because if you do, you're going to end up like me with your butt kicked out of the church and awfully happy about it, especially with what's going on these days.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people have left the church on their own.
Of course they do. They are seeing that what they're being told doesn't match up even with what they're reading in the Bible. And that's an unfortunate thing. But we always have to remember, religion, the majority of religions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, etc., they are fear-based. You either conform to what we believe, or you are going to go into eternal punishment, and you ain't going to be happy about it. So they hold folks with fear. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
Yep.
And it shouldn't be that way. It should be love. You need to be there because you love the Lord, because you love your fellow man. And you're there because you want to be, not because you're scared into it.
And that's what I'm seeing a lot. And yeah, I can see that in the Bible as well. But that's what I'm seeing a lot is,
and I'm not church bashing. No, nobody should ever think that.
No.
I'm not. I absolutely am not.
That's what I'm seeing a lot of. And people are seeing that, obviously we're in fear as well, is if you don't believe in it, you're going to hell. And
That's
who wants to
exactly right.
burn for an eternity? So, that's also fear-based.
Of course it is.
And they talk about the vengeful God.
Yes.
Different things.
They'll spend half hour talking about how God loves you. And then all of a sudden, if you cross him, he's going to damn you into an eternal fire forever and ever and ever. Well, which one is it?
Yeah. And I think that's where people are very confused and writing things like what Jeremy was talking about a little bit ago, because that's kind of he was actually a Christian, and I don't know what happened to him, but something happened.
I see a lot of ex-Christians now, and it breaks my heart. It really does, because you don't have to go to church to be a Christian. You really don't.
Who's this Facebook user, Jeremy?
I don't know. I just said hi to, I'm assuming, a man.
Ed Odell.
Oh, it's Ed. Okay, Howie, yeah. You got a couple Twitch followers here, Adrian, that seem to have interest in you. What's going on here?
One of them's actually
I think that's just cool as hell. We're getting Twitch people.
That's what I was asking.
I would just say where they come from.
And the other one, Jessica and Garrett, their family. Then there's I don't think he's on tonight. Our scare guy.
Oh,
Chris? No, I have not seen him.
Chris was good the last few days. He had that heart stent put in on Friday.
Oh, that's right.
He's doing good. He's great with it. He's fine. I messaged him. Yeah, they're all the ESP group.
I would probably say, not trying to be mean here, but if Chris, after with what he went through, I'd probably recommend that he should not scare himself with the pop-ups.
Oh, he don't scare himself. He scares us.
No. He scares Nick.
And me.
I don't recall you jumping.
That's good. You didn't see it. I did every time.
I want to see you on the camera.
I'd have paid money to watch that.
No, it was on Twitch. I came up to tell them, come on, we need to go get this done. We need to go investigate. And I got caught up talking like I always do.
Imagine that.
Nick put that up.
Yeah, this must be Howie, I assume, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
if he took the time to write this, then
Wow.
well, speaking historic fact, Rome took on Christianity, built the church to control the mass through the new religion. For their religion and thought was falling, so they embraced this new religion and placed it with its own laws. That I speak is merely the creation of the Roman Catholic Church. We do see some of the same in medieval UK as well. The Pope, bishops using their power through dukes and kings to rule. Yeah. I do see some of that too. Where they're doing that now. And how it started, we don't know. And the bottom line is the church has hidden some of the scriptures from us.
Of course they have.
Why? I don't know. But the second part of that is man helped write this.
Of course he did.
If it's like playing telephone. If I were to tell you something, you were to tell somebody else something. By the time it comes back to you, there might be one of the same word in it.
Exactly.
Yep.
We're hoping the gist is correct. That's what we're reading.
The gist is generally correct. Yes, but the reason that they'll hide some scripture or put their own twist on it is because if they don't, it will blow their theology all to hell, and they can't have that.
Right.
So, and Brad, and Sean, I haven't seen Brad yet, so sorry. Go ahead, Denny.
Well, the thing is if you're trying to put down your beliefs, you're going to have to put a new meaning to some scriptures. It doesn't mean what it says. It means what I say it says.
Uh-huh.
That's dangerous.
Yep.
And,
the
and
thing
it's done.
about that with the scriptures is that everything, number one, all of these things were put together by man.
That's right.
And just like what Howie just brought up, the book of Enoch, it was purposely left out because supposedly the book of Enoch has evidence of alien visitors.
Yes, I have the book of Enoch. And for 500 years, it was gospel. But it lost out to the book of Revelation, which is not anything that was written by the listed author. John did not write the book of Revelation. John was uneducated. He was a net mender. And a net mender is the most uneducated simpleton on a boat crew back then. All they did was mend the net. They didn't know where to throw it. They just mended it. And this was John. And this is why he was the beloved disciple, because whatever Jesus said, okay, that's good enough for me. Okay. And John's writing was very, very simple. And then all of a sudden you get to the book of Revelation. You got the first 2 chapters, very probably written by him. But from the 3rd on, that is the most technically correct writing of apocalyptic style writing that I've ever read. And I wrote a master's thesis on these types of writings. And there is no way that an uneducated person could write that in that perfectly technically correct venue. He couldn't do it. The first 2 chapters, yes. Anything beyond that, no way. Right.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I know there's other things missing as well. And who knows what they are. But if we look at Egyptian pyramids and even beyond that, the petroglyphs, petroglyphs, whatever.
I think it's petroglyphs, I believe.
Yeah.
There's alien drawings.
Yep.
And they've even drawn the spaceship, with the rooms coming down.
You see that on, well, obviously, the History Channel show Ancient Aliens has demonstrated a lot of those petroglyphs.
Exactly. Exactly. Hydroglyphs. And the church has to downplay that. They've got to get rid of it because it blows their theology apart, and they can't have that.
Yeah.
And so therefore, if you bring it up, they're going to just stomp it right down and probably throw you out the side door, even if they haven't got one.
Yep. And I think that's a lot of the reason people have kind of backed away is because they are realizing now they're not blindly following. They're realizing, hey, there was more man involvement here than God involvement.
Exactly.
And
this is an argument that my family and I have had so many times, and I keep poking holes into his ideologies. And the one thing that got him more than anything else was that one passage in Genesis where let us make man in our image. Okay, who's us?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Does that mean that there was more than one entity creating these things? And I know somebody had actually made the argument of, well, that's the Spirit, the Holy Ghost, that Trinity thing.
Holy
That's
Trinity.
one entity.
yes and no. Yes, I mean, there's God that we don't know what he looks like. We don't know anything about him.
Nobody does.
No one
Right.
does.
But
Right.
then there's Jesus that people draw pictures of him. No, we don't know what he looks like because they didn't have pictures back then. And whatever you carved into a stone wasn't going to be right.
That's
But
right.
they made him a handsome, very loving looking person. And then the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, is pretty much what they can do, what God does from up there.
And
That's
what's
the idea.
what's interesting is the Holy Spirit is a Catholic invention.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There is no Holy Spirit as they put it down. You have his Spirit, which is holy, but that Spirit is his emotional feelings and his thoughts toward things. That
Obi-Wan
is
Kenobi.
his
I
Spirit.
was gonna say I like Garrett's comment here. Obi-Wan Kenobi has to be. That's my vote. That's what he looks like.
I would love that. I would
He
love
kind
that.
of does. He does resemble Jesus in a way.
Well,
he
what
does,
I
he
find
does. But if I
interesting-
was going to go for somebody that was a spiritual leader in that direction, I would be going for Qui-Gon.
Not sure who that is, but
No,
okay.
what Denny is talking about with God and Jesus, hasn't there been something right now saying that Jesus is really God but in human form?
Scripture itself says it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Okay?
Yeah.
That says it. That's John 1:1. That says it. And that blows a lot of theology right out of the water. And his eternal name is the Word. He is the spoken word of his Father. Whatever his Father says to speak is what he spoke. When you looked at him, when you saw his emotions, when you saw how he acted, you were seeing how his Father acted. And that's how we know the Father is through him. But it says, in the beginning was the Word, Jesus, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. He is God. He is God in the flesh on this earth, showing us what his Father is like. Because we've never seen the Father. Nobody has.
Mm-hmm.
But through him, we can see him. And what's interesting is, as believers, the world is supposed to see him through us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, he's God. Absolutely.
Yeah,
He
it's
is-
a very tangled story. And I think that's where people get kind of like,
it is.
what?
It is. It's
And so
it's
much of
hard
man
to-
put in it. That,
it's hard to explain.
Yep, it is.
In seminary, they went through it with us, and then they said, okay, now that you've heard all this, forget it. Don't even worry about it, because it's more trouble to explain than it is to tell them.
right.
In other words,
Right.
leave them, just leave them believing what they believe.
And if anybody out there thinks that we are bashing and talking
Oh,
trash, we
absolutely.
are not doing that.
We're
No.
not.
What we
No.
are having, I feel, is a very healthy debate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, we would do this with any religion.
Of
And
course.
I think it's healthy to do it with any religion. Just like, there's things from Wiccan that I don't feel is against God, because
No.
he gave us the crystals, he gave us things to use, he gave
That's
us the earth to take care of.
And Israel used them all.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
used
and
them all.
and Wiccan really is using the earth and using it and making sure that it's taken care of is the big thing that I really like.
Exactly. We were given dominion over it.
Mm-hmm.
We are to take care of it, not poison it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're poisoning it. We're killing it.
Oh yeah.
We're destroying
Definitely.
the ozone. We're tearing it up. But one thing, we always use the term Christ. We tag that on to Jesus. And there are a lot of people that think that's his last name.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was Mary Christ, Joseph Christ, and Jesus Christ. But Christ is a title. And I wrote it down, and I thought I just might throw it out here. The term Christ means that he is the self-existing one who gives life to all things. He is one person. He gives life to everything. Scripture says that he is the father of all. He's the creator of all. And therefore, Scripture always says he is in all. So he is in us. He is in the Muslims. He is in those people way down in South America. He is the father of all.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And I think that's where, I don't know for sure, you'd be able to answer this, but just as somebody, a lay person, that's where Christians come from, or
That's
Christianity.
That's right. That's where it comes from.
That
We
also
had it
brings
really-
in another thing that we talked
Oh,
about
here's Chris.
when we was talking about Jesus is God. Well, if Jesus' extra name is Christ, then that just goes to show,
Yeah.
the Bible is so full of contradictory things.
It is. It is.
And most people who are self-proclaimed Christians and Bible thumpers don't see it.
No,
No, I
they're
think
just
they do see
regurgitating. They're just regurgitating what
Yeah.
they've heard.
I think they do see it. They just want some. Now, I don't know about all of them, but I know some are just trying to pick out what they believe is the truth.
Absolutely.
And they're led to be the truth, just like we do with what we do. But is that still Ed as Facebook user? Who is that?
That's I believe Ed or Howie. Yeah.
Howie. Okay. I put that comment up that he.
Oh, this right here.
Yes. I didn't say anything about I don't know anything about any of that, but if you know something about that, go ahead and let us know the similarities between them. I don't know anything about that religion.
Tom asked a question here. You think time travel was possible? You think the Pope would go back to prove Jesus existed?
Now, I do believe that Jesus did exist. I do believe that.
Mm-hmm.
But in the manner of everything that he did, I have to question the interpretation of all of that, because they talk about him bringing Lazarus back from the dead. When I see something like that, the first thing that comes to my mind is somebody was in a coma. If you're in a coma, you're about the next step away from being dead, and you can come back from the coma, and that's probably what Lazarus was. The guy that was blind, maybe something happened, and they was able to remove the cataracts, or what is that other one? Glaucoma.
But how did they do that back then? Tell me how that happened back then.
How were the pyramids built?
Aliens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that during that particular time, even though they had literally nothing where they could be able to do stuff, there were aliens back there able to do stuff and had given the people of the time certain capabilities of doing things. And Jesus may have been one of those things, one of those people. Do I know that for sure? Absolutely not, but that's a theory.
That goes into another theory that I've heard is there's dimensions. Okay. So when we die, maybe it's another dimension or we go into, a different one. Okay. So what's to say that what we're considering alien isn't God in a different dimension? I don't know. But, there's so many possibilities that we'll not know until we're there.
Well, and if you kind of put it this way, there's always this common, I guess, misconception, for lack of a better term, like we're the only ones in the entire galaxy that, let's say, believe in God. And that I honestly don't really believe, because there was, again, kind of going on the alien theory. You guys, here's just, again, it's going to sound unrelated, but you guys heard of that alien case that occurred back in the 70s in Pascagoula, Mississippi? The two guys that were abducted. So 20 years later after their abduction, one of those guys later claimed that he got contacted by these extraterrestrial beings. Supposedly, it was a female being that was telepathically speaking to him. And according to what this being said was that they believed in she didn't say exactly what planet they were from, but she did say supposedly that they believed in the same God that we believed in. They believed they had the Bible over there. So whether or not this was a real account, or if he was fabricating it, it's regardless. That's obviously an example that we're not the only ones that would be believing in this case with God. There has to be other extraterrestrial beings or species out there that might have the same beliefs we do here on Earth. So I could see, like I said, supposedly that guy said that they have the Bible on their planet too. It may be a different language over there, but they still believe in it.
Here's the thing that I have to kind of add to that, Nick, is that I think that we were transplanted here on this planet by that alien species. So whatever they believed, they might have left something for us, like say in the form of what we now have as the Bible, but in many different books. Mm-hmm. So the stuff that we have was actually written by them or more or less inspired by them. And then later on, the Constantine and whatever that group that he had that actually put the Bible together, selected the certain ones that they wanted for future people to believe in and do away with the rest.
Right.
Yeah. And see, we won't know that part, but I want Denny to answer this question. And then all of us will, but I want Denny to answer it first. Robin, where do you think we go when we die? Another planet, another dimension? Thoughts?
Well, we know that some of us hang around pretty close to here. And again, all I can do is give my thought on it. And I reserve the right to be 100% wrong. But this is what I think. I think that when we exit the body here, we go into an interim space before we transition over into where we came from. And I don't like the term heaven or paradise, but before we transition into this state of rest, okay? And we can come back and forth. And while we are in this next plane, we have the ability to have contact and see what's going on with our relatives, with our loved ones. And we can actually see the future, and I can prove that scripturally. And but once we go into the other realm, then we're out of contact with this. And this is why sometimes those of us that are mediums and contact the departed can't get a hold of them, because they are not in the area where we can. They're busy somewhere else. Okay. So we have this interim area, and then we have the area of rest, and whatever is consisting in that area of rest, we don't know. One would think that it would be made up of what in our mind we would consider to be the most beautiful place, the most wonderful thing that we could be in or at or around. And so therefore there are some who have departed that say that's what it is. They liked fishing, so they're able to be near a fishing stream. Some like motorcycles, so they're able to have a motorcycle. It's what makes up that which is beautiful and restful and happy for them. That's when we say go to the light. Once you go through that light, that's the area that it appears that you enter into. And you can come back to this area, or you can stay in that area. And that's my thought on it. When we transition, we go into this first area and we kind of get used to it. And then we can go to the light, which means we go through the door into that other area where there will be a life review. Scripture calls it judgment, but it's a life review. Apparently, we see everything that we ever did, never said, and how it affected others. And then we go on into whatever comes next. And so that's what I believe. And there are others that believe totally different, but that's what I believe. And so it's kind of a rough answer to the question, but that's the best answer I've got.
Sounds like a very educated answer.
It is. It really is.
I
just want
to go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh no, I was going to say I'm going to put this comment that I believe Howie put up. He put a lot here. So
did it cut it off?
Yeah, part of it was cut off, unfortunately. He's like, sorry, I had to type that.
He has a lot to say, and to be honest, Howie, one of these days I would like to get you on the show.
That'd be awesome.
Ethiopian Orthodox is the same rituals and elements, and many Wiccans use today. They got their magic from further down, which, you know, the frankincense and myrrh and all that good stuff is, you know, obviously it was used way back in Jesus' time, and it's still used today in the Catholic Church.
We got a few other questions here. Tom's like, would that be called purgatory?
I was actually wondering that myself when Denny, when you were talking about that interim space.
Yeah.
I was actually wondering if that was what you were talking about as well with purgatory.
I think if anything were to come close to it, that would be it. You are there. You're aware that you're not in the body anymore, and it's a time to adjust to that, a time to see your loved ones, a time to see what's going on, to know what their future is going to be, even though you can't tell them. And Adrian and I right now have one that is sure trying to get a past loved one to reveal things, and they can't.
They won't.
They won't.
They can't. I mean, I don't know if it's can't or won't, but I mean, think about it. If all of our past ancestors intervened in everything we did, we'd never learn anything, and
That's
we wouldn't
exactly
think
right.
for ourselves.
And it's interesting that there's one character in Scripture, and it's in the Old Testament, and his name was Samuel. He kind of broke the rule because Saul, this Samuel's dead now. Saul asked him, "Well, what's going to happen?" And now we know that spirit, they generally won't say anything. They'll nod or they'll smile. But Samuel told him, "Tomorrow you're going to be here with us."
Oh,
he told him what the future was, and that next day he was dead. He was there, and his kids were there too. So we know the departed can see the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, not only that, actually, the Antone just said too. While in that dimension, communication's still possible with the living.
Right. That's
course.
what we were saying. Yeah. But once you go
course.
past that, how many people, and I know some people think that's what they got. Maybe they did. We don't know. This is not a science, but how many people have talked to, let's say, Queen Elizabeth I? Nobody that far back is talking to anybody too far back.
Exactly. I haven't known anybody that's talked to Marie Antoinette or anything like that. And I have a theory on that, but it's just a theory, and it'll stir up some folks. But I believe that the reason a lot of those old ones that are 1,000 years in the grave, 2,000 years, 3,000, whatever, aren't responding is because one, either they have thoroughly crossed over and are on the other side and they're not coming back, or that they have reincarnated and they're not, their spirit isn't there to talk because maybe it's your neighbor.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's where, this is not a science.
No, it isn't. No, not in the least.
We got all these things that we pretty much agree on. Hi, Chris. How you feeling, bub? We got all these things that we pretty much agree on. And then we got these pictures of the glitch in the matrix or the different things that makes you think, well, is somebody playing a video game with us? Or are we just a bunch of ants in a jar that somebody's watching? I mean,
It feels like it sometimes, doesn't it?
yes.
It really does.
Like it for me, and somebody kept shaking the jar.
Yeah, I think even Paranormal Con on Camera has said that a few times. Like if we're really being like in this jar or whatever.
I do have one food for thought, and it goes back to purgatory. What if when
Robin.
you think about the grand scheme of things, because all of us inside are like either, whether you want to call it spiritual beings or energy beings, whatever. What if purgatory is actually what we're living in now? Because we are living a life on planet, but beyond this is all whatever it is before and after. And what if life on Earth or life in the universe is actually the purgatory that everybody thinks that you want to avoid, but you're really living in it now?
It's very possible. I mean, we don't know any of this, but it's really neat to hear everybody's thoughts on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the wonderful thing about this group and this channel. We can discuss things and we can agree to disagree, but we can agree to let people have their say. This is what I think. This is a question I've got. And the only dumb question is the question that's not asked.
Yes.
Yeah, and we learn things from other people, just like, Robin is bringing up some things that are, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I hadn't thought about that one. Or,
This is it's amazing too, because I don't see Robin watching so I could tell she's loving tonight right now with what we're talking about.
It seems like Robin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that she just relocated from Iowa down to Alabama because she just made a post saying that she was now a licensed chiropractor in the state of Alabama. So I think that she has relocated.
I didn't see that.
That's awesome.
Garrett, Garrett's comment up.
Oh, this recent one?
No, the one right above that. One. Garrett, I'm gonna make you type now. Sorry, love you. So is it like astral travel? What do you think it is?
It's probably astral projection.
Yeah. Oh, and Jeremy, she did. She did.
Okay.
She had traveled to Alabama. She moved to Alabama.
That right there. Yeah. Astral. Okay. I
There
think
was-
that's really cool. I'm scared to do it. I'm scared
Yeah.
that I won't come back. So
I did it a few times, and I'm not going to volunteer again.
yeah,
That,
yeah.
that little silver cord gets kind of small as you get out there.
That's what I'm afraid
I'll
of.
be honest. If I would ever do astral projection, I am 99% sure I would not want to come back into this body.
When,
I was afraid if that cord broke, I'd go rocketing out past Neptune, still gaining speed,
well,
not knowing where I was going
Oh,
to land.
speaking of which, I just saw a thing yesterday. I think it was somebody had gotten a composite pictures and turned it into a motion film of Saturn and its rings, and they discovered ghostly shadows
Yep.
on the rings, and they were trying to explain what that was.
I saw that too.
That's pretty cool.
It's
Yeah.
really
Probably some of my
It was
in-laws.
pretty awesome to see that in motion the way that they did, and at the same time, when you look at what they're calling shadows, think how massive that had to be.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Garrett, so is that something you did on purpose or something that just happens?
And then after that, there was a question that Robin asked earlier. I didn't get to it.
May end up there, but definitely try to work on controlling them. Maybe you can just be able to speak. But those may not be able to hear you just yet.
You know, I'm afraid I would scare somebody. I mean, it's like having a ghost. Wait a minute. So how many times that we're talking to ghosts could it be somebody that we know that's astral projecting?
Just happens. I don't have control when it happens or when it happens.
That's
Okay.
right.
I have got it seen by the Hubble telescope as awe-inspiring.
Okay.
Oh, she's talking about that supernova.
Yeah, the supernova.
Yeah.
So
that-
I wanted to go back. This was a good question she had, by the way, and this was more about the afterlife. She asked, "Can we manifest our own heaven?"
Well, I think that's kind of what Denny was saying, that, you know, it's whatever you
We
want.
make it. Yeah, we make it.
I'd
If
be
you
in
would-
trouble. I'd
Yeah,
be in trouble because
If
I
you
want
want to
this,
float around on a
this.
cloud, go ahead.
but see, I want I want to go fishing. I want to
Okay,
ride
you
horses. I want to live in a mansion, and then I want my motorcycle. I want because I know I
Yeah.
can't die on it then.
I don't even have to say what I need.
Cockroaches.
on the show Supernatural,
Not that.
show Supernatural, they actually tackled that very question, where when their characters die, they actually go into their own created heaven,
Right.
and that's where they are. And on rare occasion, I'm trying to remember how it was. On some occasion, these people were actually able to leave their heaven and go into someone else's heaven.
Yeah. You can visit.
There was even I actually remember this. I mean, I know it was more comedy, but I even saw this in the movie as see, I've seen it in you guys seen Deadpool, right? Did you guys ever see that movie? Oh, you guys would love it. It's funny as hell, but the sequel of it, the character dies briefly and then goes supposedly into heaven because I don't if you guys Jeremy, I know you wouldn't care, but if you guys haven't seen I
Near
don't
death
want to spoil
experience.
it's not necessarily. He meets his deceased girlfriend, but it's not like you would imagine, obviously.
Spoilers.
Yeah, well, I know you don't. I just don't want to ruin it for others, though. So, but he meets
You know what? Deadpool has been out for 15 years or however long it's been out.
Hasn't it? came out in 2000.
You see Deadpool by now, that is your fault.
It
I
hasn't
was
been out for
raising
15
kids
years.
at
That came
that
out in
point. I had no
2000.
time for that.
That came out in 2016. It wasn't 15 years ago, but
Okay, I was living my
I
life.
don't know what it was.
but anyways, so it's like the scene, like there's the scene obviously where he meets with his deceased girlfriend, and they're supposedly in heaven, and apparently their setting was their house, like just manifested into their own. I guess maybe envisioning how they would look at heaven, what they would expect. but they did something like that. So even a comedy film has demonstrated that.
Yeah, but think about it. How are we going to present that seriously, even if we think that's what it is?
We're not.
We're not going to. You could come up with as many ideas as possible, even for a movie, but we're not going to, like you said earlier, we're not going to be fully sure until we get there ourselves.
Right.
But right now, it is next to impossible to have any kind of physical evidence to be able to back that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So even near-death experience, you look at it and read people's. I've been reading that for a while. They're all different. Every one of them's different. Some of them is a field of flowers. Some of them are standing in front of God, and they told him go back, and he told him go back.
Chris.
They're getting what they believe. They are making their own.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. They're making their own existence. And that's what we were talking about. You want your mansion, you want your horses, you want your motorcycle, you'll get it.
Yeah.
You'll get it because this is what you want. You are going to put that together. And if I come and visit you, well, I'm not going near the horses because they're big and they poop where they want and they don't
You
smell
can't
good.
die again. You can't die again, so let's do it.
Here's another thing to add to that, Denny.
Yeah.
We're making our own existence now.
Exactly.
What?
It's like we are in training now for making our own existence.
Yeah.
And we're going to get what we want. That's why when some people die, they immediately go and there's Jesus. And I'm not saying that it isn't him, but it's what they expect, and therefore that's what they get. Some people are convinced they're going to hell, so they die, and guess what?
I did read a story about that.
Fire.
Yes, I read a story about that, and this guy got so in depth. He saw things so in depth about scaling the walls and the flesh falling off of people, and it's stories he's read and things he's heard. And I thought, oh, what but it did turn him into a better person.
Yes, there's a book out that I read, and a long time ago I used to read, and the book is called Dante's Inferno.
I've heard
Dante's
of that.
Inferno, yeah.
Yes, Dante's Inferno. That's the seven rings of hell. The seven rings of hell, the seven layers of it. And if you want to read, that'll kind of make you think a little bit about a few things. Go ahead and read Dante's Inferno.
It's actually been referred to as the scariest book ever written.
I will go along with that.
I don't need any more nightmares. No, we're good.
You just read a story with a nightmare in it, Adrian.
No, I'm well aware.
What the hell is Chris saying? What is this?
He's talking about wrestling.
Our WWE PPV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, big reviews.
Okay.
He's talking about wrestling. And Chris, I concur with that.
Chris, you're speaking a language I don't know, dude.
Oh,
speaking of which, since he did touch up on that.
Thanks, Chris.
Donald and I are going to be doing a March on Wrestling on Saturday afternoon.
Awesome.
Okay.
And speaking of which, too, I wanted to get back to you on this too, Jeremy. Howie said he would be honored to be a guest on the show at some point.
I caught that.
So we got him.
Are you sure you can put up with me? Seriously? You better be tough skin, dude.
Steve Gardepine.
He's a regular viewer.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm asking. Are you sure?
Steve Gardepine, near-death experience. I need to.
He's probably not I did.
Okay, I'll have to look that up.
Going back. Oh, geez. Going back to the Pangea discussion. He sent some link. Corner Chris said he can.
He can what?
Just says, saying he's sure he could. Oh, wait, no, that was Howie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's two different people here. What's going on? We're confused here, Chris.
Now,
Get back
hold on. Wait a minute. First of all, we know that Adrian's the one who normally gets people mixed up. Nick, that is not you.
Hey, look, I can claim Alzheimer's. I can claim dementia. I can claim old age. What is your excuse?
I claim stupidity for me. I'm just dumb as a stone.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, wow. I just clicked on that link that Antone is.
Yeah, I'm not clicking that.
That is a beautiful picture.
Chris,
Hang on.
I'm going to whoop your ass, boy.
Any chance you could share that, Jeremy, or?
Probably. Looks like
Oh my God, Chris. Jeez.
That's why I told him I'm going to whoop that ass as I'm sitting here fanning myself from hot flashes.
Check that out.
Whoa.
Just
Whoa.
Beautiful.
That's pretty cool.
That's a real picture?
probably
I doubt it.
probably a composite picture. But
That's
just
still
look at these galaxies.
that's incredible.
Now look at this one right here. Look at the bend on that one. So that tells you there is something bending that light. And look at every one of these little dots and all of these dim ones. Those are galaxies, people.
Not stars.
No,
So-
those are galaxies.
So if there is anybody, and I know there are plenty who believe that they are the center of the universe, well, I've got some bad news for you.
That's right.
Yeah, so, you see that big old star right there? Yep, that's me.
That's all.
No, seriously.
We'll call that star Adrian.
Was Ghost over here too?
Yeah, this is a gorgeous
Rosebud.
picture. It really is.
That is just
It is
amazing.
beautiful.
That is
And
just
it gives you
amazing.
an idea of just how big the universe really is. They used to say that the universe was 13.7 billion light years apart. Well, recently, I think it was about a year ago, recently they had discovered that it's actually bigger than that, that it's more like 15 or 16.
Well, it's not even, not only that too, if you think about it, because this is something that's gone on since the Big Bang. We always keep hearing that the universe has spread. They're even still saying, even to this very day, it's still spreading. There's always these constant theories about. Some people will say that the universe is going to eventually end. There's something going to be called the Big Crunch. Honestly, the way how it's been spreading, a lot of scientists have often been saying that the spreading of the universe is endless and will probably never end.
But
I
no,
agree.
think about it this way. What if the Big Crunch actually happened?
Yeah, possible.
It's a real good question. And they actually even said, even if it does happen, I mean, there's different theories, but chances are it could eventually create a second Big Bang and could expand out once again.
Who's to say we aren't in that right now? It
Right.
crunched and then it banged out again.
It's like we're the second generation of the Big
And
Bang.
again.
Like,
Jessica,
Yeah, like
what
Here is something
my
that
son
I
send me?
never hear anybody talk about. The universe is expanding. So that tells me if it's expanding, there is an end to it. There's an edge to the universe. What is beyond that edge? Is there another universe that's going through the same process as we are? If that's the case, I don't want to talk about Nestle. If that's the case, long story on that one, you'll read about it in my book.
yeah,
What is on the other side of the edge of the expansion of the universe? Is there another universe out there?
Very probably.
well, and Denny, you made a good point. Say,
Thank
how do we
you,
not know,
Robin.
how do we not know that we are in that second Big Bang? Like, are we in the generation of the second Big Bang or third even? I mean, there's a
Exactly.
lot of questions that go through.
Exactly.
so
And if anybody's going to find that wall of the universe, it'll be Adrian and I some night.
that's right. Who's got controls tonight?
Me and Jeremy.
All right. I'm going to send you this picture. We're talking about the universe here. Jeremy, I sent it to you.
Okay.
My son saw this on his way here Christmas Eve. We thought that was pretty
Okay,
cool.
hold on. I'm going on Facebook right now. So
Don't know what it is, but thought it was pretty cool. I
did
told
you
him
just send it to me, or did you just send it to me, or
no, I sent it to Jeremy. He's got it up.
oh, you sent it to Jeremy? Okay.
Uh,
Oh, wow.
well, so this could be a number of things.
Was
Now-
it moving or was it stationary?
It was moving.
So it looks like something breaking up.
It
Yeah, it
does.
looks like a falling star or something like that, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
it's-
bright.
Yeah,
that
it's
that
just
one looks
breaking.
like to be a meteorite.
Yeah,
That's what I first thought was a meteorite.
Did we have those on Christmas Eve? Did we have a bunch of them?
I don't know. It was cloudy here.
Yeah,
So it's not
I-
unusual. It
It
wouldn't be
was-
unusual.
It was raining here.
It was raining over here too, so we couldn't see anything.
they were in a snowstorm right before this.
Gemini's meteor shower, according to Robin.
Okay, that was Christmas Eve, Robin.
Robin,
This was over Kansas.
okay. Get to the end, then turn around. She's referring to like when you guys got to the end of the universe. Yeah, that's Geminid, I guess.
Gemini. Okay, and that was Christmas Eve.
Okay. Here's another question. Where's Denny? Get that out of there. Okay. Another question to ask. We have always talked about in the paranormal field about shit.
Okay.
Magnetic fields. We're always talking about magnetic fields, and in space and astronomy, they're always talking about the magnetic fields of the planets and everything. What happens when you get to the edge of the universe? Because it's expanding, so something is causing it to expand. So if somebody were to actually go there, would the laws of physics go out the window as we know it?
I think they go out the window as soon as we get into space.
Not necessarily. When you get into space, all you're doing is just going into a giant vacuum.
Yeah.
But when you get to like a black hole, then the gravitational pull changes everything. It changes the bend of the light. It changes time. But what happens when you go to the edge of the universe? What will it do if the black hole can do what it does?
It's the big black hole.
Yeah. Oh, and Adrian, Robin said no, that was December 13th and 14th, the Geminid meteor shower.
Hey, just real quick, does anybody have Sally Chadwick on their friends list still?
Let me check. Tom makes also another good point. Like a big balloon will eventually pop.
Oh, I just
What's
got
her-
a request too.
Who'd you say this is? Oh,
Sally
Adrian?
Chadwick?
Chadwick?
I'm gonna say no.
No, I'm not friends with her either.
I just got a friend's request from her, and I swear we've been friends, so I'm just going to leave that one alone.
That's weird.
I'm just gonna delete it.
Oh, here's Brad. Speaking of which, from earlier.
Here's Brad.
Whoa, geez, Anton. I was just about to click something else, and this showed up.
Meteor
Jeez.
shower is a celestial event in which a number of meteors are observed to radiate or originate from one point in the night sky called radiant. These meteors are caused by streams of cosmic debris called meteoroids entering Earth's atmosphere at extremely high speeds on parallel trajectories. Oh my gosh. The Meteor Data Center of the IAU lists over 900 suspected meteor showers, of which about 100 are well established. The meteor showers listed. Okay.
And-
Anton, how did you get all your knowledge besides I know you Googled that one, but you're pretty damn good at this.
Yeah, let's see. The meteor.
And one other thing, too, that Chris said when we were talking about black holes. You go through the black hole and come out into an opposite antimatter universe.
Yeah, no thanks.
Actually, that is an interesting theory because nobody has ever really been able to think of what is on the other side of that black hole. Just that we know that a black hole really is created from the explosion of a star.
And we know for a fact that no human or animal could certainly survive being sucked into one. They would literally be ripped into individual atoms in seconds.
Nothing survives a black hole.
Yeah, nothing does. They'd be ripped into individual atoms.
Okay, so what is the difference between a black hole and a wormhole?
So the black hole, I mean, that's like what you
go through.
Yeah, a black hole in the other case, I mean, it's like you just said, Sharon, it's the result of a death of an exploding star, and it sucks everything that, as we all know, not even light can escape from its grasp.
Yeah. A wormhole, I think, is actually something that is created for the purpose of being able to travel much longer distances. And I do believe that to actually exist because when you think about the travel that these aliens have to go through in order to get here, that is a huge distance. Think about how long it takes just to get from my place to your place, Adrian. That's an 18-hour drive almost.
Yep.
So when you start thinking about the vastness of space and the distance, even going at the speed of light, it would take thousands of years just to get from one place to another. So they have to have some way of being able to get from point A to point B,
right?
Without literally driving all the way through point Z.
Yep.
Okay, so time out. Brad? Yeah, speaking of black hole, it's your mouth.
Yeah, gravitational trap. That's how Anton just said. It's also a possibility that there is something on the other side of a black hole. We will just never know. The wormholes.
My goodness, see, there's that black hole running again. But you actually said something that was smart.
Wormholes have been proven by NASA.
Yeah, that is true. I do know that.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Brad, I'm not going to mention what it is, but we're going to have a very special announcement to announce Brad and I on New Year's Day. So we're looking really forward to that. But yeah,
so after the new year, what? That big hole's going to get bigger? That big black hole's going to get bigger and suck your ass in? That was what happened?
That's what she said.
Speaking of black holes, that is actually at the center of each galaxy. Black holes. And everything is circling around it. So theoretically, everything that is in our galaxy is going to get sucked in by that black hole.
Right.
Well, let's go for a roller coaster ride.
We're on a roller coaster ride. If you think about it, we just can't feel it.
Well, I want to feel it. Let's go.
There we go.
Denny, I want those teddy bears.
Yeah, bears.
I want to feel this one.
Yeah, it might be the last time you'll have teddy bears anywhere.
That looks like the painting we did.
Yes. This is Hampton.
Hampton.
It was named after the surgeon that did the triple bypass on me.
Yeah. Is that your heart teddy bear?
Yes, this is my heart teddy bear. That's
Okay.
Hampton. And this is Butterscotch.
Oh my gosh, that one is so cute.
He's Butterscotch. That's right. He loves everybody.
Oh
And-
my gosh.
And
I don't want to hear it. You have not seen the way Brad talks to me. I don't want to hear it.
and this is
Excuse me.
Twixie.
Excuse me. Hey, Jill's in the house.
That's my favorite.
You have.
Yep.
You got
Jill
a
says,
lot.
welcome back, Denny. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, too.
Absolutely. Merry
Actually-
Christmas. Happy New Year.
Denny, I can kind of relate to you because here, hold on 1 second.
You got
Oh,
some?
Lord have mercy.
You guys have never seen this, and he's a big guy too.
There he is.
Oh, my gosh.
There he is.
Hey!
This was actually given to me when I was just a baby, so I still had it 30 years later ever since.
I would
Oh
hope
my
so.
gosh.
So it's kind of a momentum.
I would
Ah.
hope so.
Brad, don't even play that pity part, dude.
And when
Wait,
I
what?
pass on, I go to visit Adrian, and I'm going to move all of her teddy bears into a line on the floor in her room.
Yep.
And then she'll know it's me.
Now, Brad, she already has a heart. She's got the heart of a child. And the heart of that child is sitting in a glass jar behind that fish tank.
You damn straight.
That'll teach the kid to take the candy.
Right along with the genitals of the last guy that decided to talk to me that way. Keep talking, Brad. Lorena Bobbitt didn't do it right. They could sew his crap back on. No, run it through a meat grinder.
Let us not get back into that conversation.
Oh yeah, we're gonna run that
We went down that rabbit hole a
grinder.
few weeks ago. Looks like we lost Nick. Yep, we did lose Nick. He's got a new screen coming up.
Oh, here we go. Nick next to Nick. He cloned
Oh,
again.
jeez. No, what happened was as I was putting the bear away, I accidentally clicked on the computer button, and it almost made me shut down the entire computer.
Oh,
Damn
There
it.
we go.
There we go. Yep, now he's gone.
That's why I have Anthony in here with me. He makes me sit and not move, because if I move and hit something, I'll shut everything down.
Hi, Anthony.
The whole dang city will go dark.
Yeah. Well, that almost happened to me now.
I tell you
Well,
what,
we actually lost Denny earlier today.
Yeah, Denny didn't know if he was going to be able to get on.
yeah.
Yeah, he came on and we were in the green room and his video was so choppy. Then all of a sudden he was gone, and then 2 minutes later he came back up and his video's been perfect ever since.
Yeah, I got off the faltering Wi-Fi that we've had here for days. I can't even upload my art videos right now. And I kicked it over onto 5G, and we've been okay since then.
Chris, you are close enough for me to come whoop that ass, boy. Don't you get on that bandwagon with that little shit, because he has a grave with his name on it, and his butt's going to be buried exposed, so I can kick it every time I walk by. You don't want to be a part of that.
Is that a promise?
3 weeks, Adrian, so that he can at least lift his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Brad was asking, you guys test your REM. You know what? I have
Yes,
not been
I scared my son with it.
I've been meaning to do that myself. After this, I will.
I have not had a chance. I have been so busy with everything, and it is not going to stop for some time. I have not had a chance.
Yeah, I did. I scared my son with it because he didn't know it was in the walkway.
I actually need to see if I even have a battery for it, because it's not the typical AA or AAA batteries. I need to check.
I had to go to Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. My son came here, and I'm telling you what, from the moment he got here, well, the first day he didn't, but from the moment he got here till yesterday, and he left this morning, he cooked meals for me, so I didn't have to cook when I got off work. He brought his smoker. He smoked ribs. He smoked a pork butt. He smoked the baked beans. Oh my gosh, smoked baked beans are amazing. And then he fixed my car. Not that it was broken, but you can't get. My car has the first generation of this stupid transmission that you cannot do yourself. You have to take it to the dealer. And he was like, Mom, you're not taking it to the dealer. Hold on. He ordered stuff, had it delivered here. He had to get it through a dealer. He came here. He changed my oil. He changed the transmission fluid and flushed it. everything. He
Hey.
worked the whole time he was here.
You're supposed to be on vacation.
It's what we tried to tell him. He said, nope, nope. And then he changed all the light switches upstairs, the inside and outside. He goes, no, Mom, that's a fire hazard. No way. He went through and changed them. And I said, you're supposed to be sitting. He said, I can't sit knowing you have that in your house.
Wow.
Good kid.
It's like, okay.
Hey, have at it.
Well, I told him the next time he comes, that is not. Yeah, he is a good boy. I told him he's Mama's boy. His Mama's only biological boy.
Is this the one who's visiting from Japan?
No, that one doesn't. No,
Shit.
no. He, the one that came from earlier in Christmas Eve. He came from
Christmas
Colorado. I mean, from Oklahoma.
Okay.
The other one lives in right outside of Denver, and he came for Christmas. But he came and he ate, and he had to leave, and he's supposed to be back this weekend because he forgot our presents. Give a shit about presents. I could care less.
Robin, you are absolutely right. I am sitting down all day long writing, and my butt hurts.
Oh,
It's the same with me, and I've been on
I feel so sorry
on
for
vacation
you.
this. You know what? I can relate because I've been on vacation. I haven't done anything, and I've been wanting to do stuff.
That's
No.
the point.
Brad,
Vacation, you don't do shit.
I don't strike fear in my son. I'm going to tell you something. I struck fear in him when he was younger. Now it turned to respect.
She strikes fear in everybody.
I beat that ass when he was younger. You damn straight I did, and that's why he's the kid he is now.
What the hell is this now? Like what Brad's asking? She played with the giraffe. What?
I know she carried it around a little bit.
Oh,
But the thing for her is that there are certain things that she has to have all the time, and then there are other times where she'll carry this around for a couple of days, and then she'll be done with that and carry something else around for a couple of days. Then she's done with that. So it's give and take.
is it Angelia?
Angelia, yeah.
Oh,
So what Brad did, he was testing out his new 3D printer some time ago, and he printed out this little toy giraffe as a test print, and it came out really, really good. He sent it to me. In fact, he sent it to me when he sent the REM pod, and when you look at this thing, the color scheme of it, it actually kind of reminds me of the background in your fish tank. The way that it's got blue and purple into it, all intertwined the way it is. It came out really, really good. So I wrapped it up and gave it to her on Christmas Day. She wrapped it up. She ripped it up and was more interested in the paper. And I got a video of it. Brad asked me to take a video of it, and he said she was mad when you took that paper away from her.
yeah. And that's
I took the paper away from her because not only will she rip it up, but she'll also put it in her mouth.
Oh, jeez.
And that's something we cannot have.
Jeez.
I don't know. It won't hurt her.
Yeah, it will.
I was gonna say if it's involving paper, it's gonna hurt.
I don't know. My kids ate a lot of paper.
Did they get paper cuts though?
Oh yes. And I laughed. Said, "Did you learn something?"
There were certain things that happened that I won't mention on the air with paper, so we keep her away from paper.
Uh-huh. I see that we need tape over here. Oh, I forgot he had this. This is going to
Chris
make
ate paper.
really good.
You know what? I gotta say this with Robin. Jeremy, this actually goes when we were doing the Christmas card exchange. That that almost happened to me. I almost cut my tongue while looking in envelope. So I almost did get that paper cut.
What?
Actually,
Why are you licking
when
up?
she mentioned that, the first thing that came to my mind are the paper cuts that they gave each other on Jackass the movie.
What were you asking, Sherman?
Do you remember when we first started this, how Jeremy talked about the little pen that has water in it that his mom had? Do you remember that? That was a good thing to remember, because then you take, even if you can't have the pen, a sponge and put it on there, and it, or a sticker. It doesn't matter. You don't lick things you shouldn't. Your tongue does not belong in.
Besides, Nick, think about,
I learned that years ago.
think about the stuff that is in that glue
Looks so cool.
of these envelopes.
What,
Think of
Jeremy?
what you're licking when you're licking the envelope.
Jill didn't get to see it, I don't think, but yeah, this is all I did.
Okay,
I
so
did do it.
Yeah,
My daughter-in-law did.
what were you saying,
We're
Jeremy? I'm sorry.
coming on in 10 minutes, so we need to wrap the show up here in the next 7 or 8.
You know we can't do that. That is impossible.
Wait, what were you saying though, Jeremy? Because Adrian was talking about her hair. What were you saying about the envelopes?
Think about the stuff when you're licking that adhesive. Think about what's in that thing.
Okay, I'm not sure
Yeah.
what's in it.
You're licking adhesive, Nick.
What's adhesive? That's in the envelopes?
That's what seals the envelope. Adhesive.
It's glue.
You're licking dry glue.
Yep.
Well, at least it's not. I mean,
Cow
it's really,
feet. Yeah. It's
cow
horse
feet?
hooves.
well, I was going to say at least. Jill just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say at least it's not Gorilla Glue.
You could use Gorilla Glue, and
That would be hard to open though.
So that is why I use this. I tape my envelope shut.
Oh,
I
what was
found
that? 'Cause
envelopes
it
the
froze
other
on my
day.
side.
Yeah, I found envelopes the other day that's got the stickum on it, and you just peel off
yep.
peel off a piece of paper, and they hook shut.
Well, how was I supposed to know?
Check this stack out. These are the Christmas cards.
Uh-huh.
That
You
is
still haven't opened them?
no, they're open. I got rid of the envelopes, but this is the stack of Christmas cards that I got. Look at that.
Jeez. Wow.
That's a lot of Christmas cards.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Did you guys see that? Lauren posted a picture. I know she's not taking part in the Christmas card exchange, but she and I still sent Christmas cards, and she just posted her picture of my envelope on her Facebook page earlier today.
Oh, and I sent Jan a picture. I got yours last night.
Oh,
And
really?
I sent Jan a picture of it.
Did she say anything or?
Oh, yeah. She said she loves it.
Awesome. Glad you guys got it.
Yep. Now we keep them all, and they go up around the doorway. And then
That's
I put them in a
tight.
box with the year every year.
That's what Zach was talking about when he was setting this thing up. Some of the people they put some pretty cool stuff in it. One of them had like a little ceramic ghost.
Yeah, I think I got that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
the little pictures.
Brad, you take part in it next year. I will make sure that I will send my address to everyone else except you, so that way I can not get your Christmas cockroach.
This one right here. This one right here.
Oh, I didn't get that one yet.
I got that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It's like a little ceramic thing.
That's awesome.
And one of the other gals in our little chat said that she turned that into a magnet and put it on her refrigerator.
Yeah, and I got one, a little wooden one that is, it can be a Christmas ornament. So I wrote her name on the back of it and the year, and it'll go on the Christmas tree every year.
Did that come from Linda?
Linda. Mhm.
Yep, that's the one. That's the one that sent me this one here. So she must have sent something different to everybody.
Yeah, I loved it. It was awesome. The thought some people put in it was really sweet.
Chris, my sweater's not Power Ranger. It just has diamonds on it.
Power Ranger.
Yeah, because of he's saying that for my sweater. It just has diamonds on it.
But that's a little like Power Rangers.
It was not made. It's not made for that matter. It's not even the right color.
We can't tell. You're black and white.
Yeah.
It's actually like a what is it? Kind of like a dark reddish, purplish.
See, if I go black and white, I don't have to do makeup. I don't have to do shit.
Well,
And
unless you're like
Adrian, you are in 4K.
yeah, you are.
Yeah. Great. That's not what we need.
We established that when we started the show because Zach saw, I got the camera on. So we went to the other camera and it looked like shit. So we went back to the one you're on now.
And it's more colorful too, not just 4K.
It is,
it's so much more
because-
colorful.
Yeah, because I remember thinking when I first brought the screen up, wow, that fish tank really pops out.
Yeah.
You can even see the damn thing swimming in there.
Well, I hope he's swimming.
Well, there's one missing, and I don't know how you miss a plecostomus, but it's missing. Has been missing
Lunch?
for a few days.
Lunch?
I would think so, except that skin is awful hard.
Well, he didn't just jump out and walk off.
Oh, you may have. Our snails, one of our snails come out, which they do. They'll come up to the top, but he went on out, down on the ground, and gone.
That is called evolution.
Right.
Except he died in the process.
Yes.
And you know what? I got to say, this has probably been one of the more invigorating conversations we have ever had on this show.
It's been great.
Damn right.
I got to say, Denny, we have got to have you back on here so that we can continue this type of conversation because it's just also interesting. These 2 hours just flew.
I know.
Anytime you want me back, just let me know, and I'll be here.
Just quick question, because Jill just asked this. What's everyone's
I'm
plans
gonna
for
be
New
drunk
Year's
as
Eve?
hell. I'm gonna be drunk as hell. That's what's gonna happen.
My plan for New Year's Eve, simple. I'm old. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep about 10 o'clock.
Jeremy, what about you?
I will be going over to Dad's house to ring in the new year while we have Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year thing on TV.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh,
That's,
I remember
that's
those.
what we do every year.
yeah, as for me, I'm still trying to figure out what I know I'm gonna be working that day, but as usual, I'm only working from like 8 to 1, so it's like gonna have no effect on me whatsoever. But like I always have I probably have told you guys before, when it comes to holidays at work, I dress up for them. So it's also going to be, it's not just for, I'm going not just for the extra pay, I'm also going for the fun of it.
Absolutely.
I do work. I work the day before. I do work that, but that's okay.
Well, I do have the day off after though, so I took that
Me
off.
too.
So I don't have to, because I'm sleeping in after New Year's, no matter what.
I'll be working New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, so that I'm actually really excited about New Year's Day because there is a story that I've got in my head that I want to start, but I'm not going to do that until New
Lord.
Year's Day. No, this is going to be a good one.
For the extra pay.
I'll tell you about it after the show, Adrian, and stick around because there's something else I want to talk to you about after the show. I
You want me to be there too?
excited about.
So this New Year's is when his son is going to come in at midnight and surprise him. So, anyway,
Hey, Adrian, you better hope that Zach is not watching the show.
he's not.
or at least listening.
He's not. I think the Devils are on tonight. There's a rule in our house: when hockey's on, Zach is gone. So he's gone all season. Bye.
Jeremy, do you want me to stick around too, since you had to say something after the show, or is
You
this
can if you want to.
Okay.
It's really going to be more for Zach than anything. But I do want to run this by Adrian. But if you want to stick around for it, you're more than welcome to. It's not like it's going to be some big secret thing.
Okay.
It's something that will have to be announced at some point if we go through with this.
All right.
But I think it's going to be a really cool idea and something really fun.
I'm into fun.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, Denny, thank you so much for being on the show again. And I'm glad that I was actually able to stick around the whole time.
You did. Oh, and actually, one other I forgot to mention, with the new year coming up, you guys know that 2024 is going to be a leap year. So you know what that means, right?
Yeah, all our computers are screwed, and my company is screwed.
No, I was going to say, we can have bread on July 32nd.
That's not how leap year works.
Long extra day, Nick.
I know.
No, but that does mean that election is coming up.
It's true. Come by the house. You guys all got to come back. Yep. You have a standing invitation anytime you want. Come on.
So for those of you guys out there in the audience, thank you for playing along. Next week, do we have a guest?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't think so.
So we'll figure out what we'll do for next week. Tomorrow, I will have 13 Dimension on. Hopefully, I'll have a few people on. We're going to talk about New Year's Eve, maybe some New Year's resolutions, have a little fun there. And then on Saturday, Donald and I will be on for Marks on Wrestling. And then New Year's Day. New Year's Eve, Sunday night. Yay.
This is the last Supernatural talk of 2023, I just realized. So,
yep.
Until next year.
Yes, it is.
So, until next week, next year, 2024. Thank you guys so much, and be safe.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.